welcome to this epic disaster 2020. This is the first real full show of 2020. We kind of did a halfway show last week.
We did.
In many ways. But this is the first full 2020.
Yay!
How was it? How was your New Year's festivities?
So my New Year's Eve festivities it was fun.
Uh-huh.
And then it got wild and crazy.
Oh, wow.
And then it got personal.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about that.
You're
going to have to fill us in on all of those things. First, before we do that, let's have a little chat.
Okay.
Let's build a fire and have a little chat in front of the fire. No, let's not. Let's just have a beer called Fireside Chat.
That sounds easier, actually, to me.
All right.
So let's do that. Today we are drinking Fireside Chat. It's by 21st Amendment Brewing. And it's a winter spiced ale. It is ale with spices added. They're just being very tricky about what spices they're using.
I just spilled beer on my poop.
That's not a good thing. And for those of you that don't know, he's talking about a Christmas gift that I gave him, which is like a splatting poop thing. Yeah. Anyways, this beer, back to the beer, has 7.9% alcohol by volume.
Not bad. Better than 4.
Looks like a Norman Rockwell painting
of
Roosevelt.
A man. That's Roosevelt. You do know Roosevelt used to have these things he called fireside chats.
Okay.
And that's Roosevelt having his fireside chat. All right, so here.
With an elf, it looks like.
Oh.
He's chatting with an elf.
Maybe that's Mrs. Roosevelt. All right, what do you think?
It looks dark. It looks about at the stout level. What do you think?
It looks a little porterish to me.
Okay. How's it smell?
It smells pretty good.
What spices can you smell?
Let me see here.
Don't say frog, because that's not a spice.
No, it smells a little more beery than I would like. I would kind of like for it to be a little more dark.
Well, it's a beer.
I know. Okay. So it's got a lot of head. It's going to be some carbonation in it.
Yeah, in the light, I'm going to retract my stout statement and go more with a porter.
Okay.
All right. So we will drink this throughout the podcast, and at the end of the podcast, we'll both rate it, and we'll let you know what we think.
All right. Now I'm a little confused.
Why?
All right. So last week we had a beer, and I had this metallic taste in my mouth.
Right.
I'm tasting it again.
Because you drank it out of the can.
I'm tasting it again.
So maybe it wasn't the can.
That's what I'm thinking. Is there something wrong now? I can't drink beer? Have I had a stroke?
No, maybe your diet is making your taste buds weird.
That's possible.
I don't smell metallic.
It's not
I don't taste metallic.
All right, we'll see. So by the end of the, I'm still getting it. By the end of the podcast, we'll see.
Okay. Did you change anything, like your toothpaste?
I don't think. No.
Anything?
Nope.
Weird.
Not that I know of. I have a slight diet change, but that wouldn't affect the way beer tastes.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. So, okay, so let me know what's going on. You said you had a pretty exciting New Year's Eve, New Year's celebration, whatever you call it.
Yeah. So some neighbors threw a party, and I went over to that, and we had a good time, and there was munchies and friends, and we rang in the new year with some champagne and had a good time. And then we went to another friend's house, and we were continuing to drink, and
oh, wow.
Most of the folks there had several drinks.
Did you get Uber? Got your rides planned?
Oh, it's walking distance from my house, so it's not a problem.
Drink as much as you want then.
That's right. And then, we were all just being silly, and I was dancing with a friend and doing twirls and spins and being just
like
ridiculous.
Swing dancing kind of stuff?
Sort of, yeah. And I took an elbow to the eye.
Oh!
I took an elbow to the eye.
On purpose?
I don't think he did it on purpose.
Didn't like the way you were dancing?
Maybe he was like, get out.
Take this.
Right. Anyways, I did get a black eye.
Oh, on New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve.
How do you explain that to someone? Was the person out of it? Were they drunk?
Yeah.
The next morning, you were like, look what you did to me. And he was like, well, I didn't do it.
No, I did see him the next morning at another event. It wasn't morning. It was definitely afternoon. But he didn't say a word about it. I don't think he actually remembers doing it. I honestly don't. And that's fine. It's just a black eye. It's definitely not the first black eye I've ever had.
Well, I think you should know what he's responsible for, knock on the door and go, I just need to talk to you about what you did to me last night.
But he didn't do it on purpose.
It doesn't matter. No one does it on purpose. When the next morning on the parties, when something happened, when they wake up the next morning and they're like, what, did we sleep together? It's not always done on purpose. I mean, it's, that would be funny, though, is to kind of like make it like you accidentally slept together or something. So they're like, I need to talk to you about what happened last night.
Wow.
And he's like, what? What happened? Well, I know you were drunk, but I need to talk to you. And he's like, what did I do? What did I do? Well, you touched me inappropriately.
You touched me inappropriately.
Like, what are you talking about? See this black eye?
See this eye?
Do
you see this eye?
Yeah.
This is the result of your elbow. Thank you very much.
I think he should know. He should be responsible. You should have to pay for it.
It's not the end of the world. If he knows, he knows. If he remembers, he remembers. It's just a black eye.
He's like, I hope she doesn't remember. I poked her in the eye with my elbow.
Anyways, most of the bruising is gone now. Yeah. It did turn pretty colors. It wasn't even the most beautiful black eye I've ever had.
After the countdown, or was it before?
Well, after. I mean, I don't think I got home until 6:30 New Year's Day.
It was a late night poke in the eye. Yeah. I see.
Nothing like a late night poke.
I mean, so you barely felt it.
No, I felt it. Trust me. I had to ice it immediately because it hurt. The problem is that the bruising is no big deal. It's just a bruise. It goes away. Yeah. But I feel like my cornea has been scratched.
Yeah.
And it's very irritated and angry and red.
Well, he should be responsible. He should pay for what he has
to. For what?
Well, I mean, if you have to have surgery of some kind.
Oh, God, I hope I don't have to have surgery.
Well, his insurance should pay for it.
No, I have my own insurance. I can pay for it.
All right.
I'm a big girl.
Okay.
I mean, I could use the homeowner's insurance of the person's house I was at.
Well, there you go.
But I won't do that either.
I think you should.
No.
Was that it? I mean, anything else fun happen where you're just... so it's kind of just a regular house-to-house party where everybody's kind of getting toasted and bringing in the new year. Sounds like fun.
I revealed some secrets that
about yourself?
About myself.
Oh, man. Stuff that you haven't talked about on the show?
That's correct.
What?
Yeah. So to a friend, and so that friend and I are still going to discuss what I reveal. No. We just haven't yet.
Romantic stuff? Is this like something like I really like your ass or something like that?
I mean, I do, but that's not what I said.
But it's stuff that, was it like difficult? Like things you've been, it's like, kind of like an 80s John Hughes film where you've got all this stuff you've been talking about forever, thinking about, you've been at work, and finally you sit down, that big moment when you sit down, the psychedelic furs are playing in the background and you have to tell them how you feel about them. Is that what happened?
It's similar.
Yeah.
Ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. How did that go?
Andrew
McCarthy come in?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
And nobody borrowed anybody's underpants.
Oh, wow.
None of that happened. Cool. No. Actually, that was pretty much the end of the night.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
No, I
killed the evening with your confessions.
No, I left. I went home. It's fine.
I told you how I feel. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
Oh, has it been discussed since then, or?
Yeah, I brought it up last night.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, we're not ready to have that conversation yet.
Well, just got to go a little bit of time. I think having a lot of alcohol at a New Year's Eve party is probably not a good time to express your love for someone.
You think?
I'm thinking.
I think maybe I probably should not have done that then.
First of all, fix that disgusting eye.
Right?
What happened?
Right?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think he already knew.
Take a chance.
Yeah.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
Set some goals.
Why the hell not?
Tell people how you feel.
I mean, if you don't, then maybe they don't know. And if you don't tell somebody how you feel about them,
they'll never know.
They'll never know.
They'll always guess.
There's nothing wrong with being honest with your feelings.
That's true. I just leave it in a suicide note. That's what I do.
By the way, I've always loved you.
This is not your fault.
But it's totally not your fault.
Yeah. We'll see how that turns out. Seems like a disaster to me. I don't know if that... I'm all for telling the truth. I'm all for revealing, but the timing might have been a little off. But I guess we'll find out if that's true.
Well, it's out there now. There's nothing I can do about it.
Let's play a little Would You Rather game, shall we?
Okay.
Let's do some Would You Rather. We do this every show, Would You Rather. Basically, we have 5 color stones. We drop a color stone. That stone tells us what question we're going to read. And then when we read the question...
You need glasses?
I'm looking
There's some right there.
I know, but I brought some special ones up.
Okay.
Those other ones that I always read don't really work. These work better. These are questions of Would You Rather.
Yes.
So
normally it gives you options and you choose one.
Drop your blue stone.
It's not going to be blue.
It'll be blue.
It's blue.
I told you.
But you're not
all
psychic.
Right. Blue. I am psychic. And I think everybody knows, and that was perfect example of how I am psychic.
God.
This is appearance and embarrassment.
I have
both
all
of
of that.
which you had on New Year's Eve. Would you rather be caught picking your nose in your car?
Okay.
The Seinfeld episode,
right?
Or be caught scratching your genitals in the supermarket?
I mean, these are things that people do. People pick their nose. People scratch their genitals.
In the supermarket.
Well, maybe not in the supermarket. I'm not sure. I mean,
with a carrot in the produce. That's when it doesn't happen right.
But
That's the wrong thing.
But wait, did I actually remove my trousers?
Oh, God.
Previous?
Oh, that's when you know that you drank way too much on New Year's Eve. Someone scratching their genitals with a carrot on aisle 4.
With a carrot? Where do you come up with this carrot thing? Anyways, okay.
It's produce.
I guess I'd go with the picking of the nose in the car.
In the car? Well, okay, here's the thing. If you're doing it in the supermarket, then you got to see those people every time you go down the aisle, you know?
Right.
You know, have you ever been to the supermarket where you're like going one way and someone's going the other way and you have to pass the same freaking people every aisle?
Yes.
And it seems like you all skip the same exact aisles because you skip 3 aisles and then there they are again.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're following you only backwards.
So if someone caught you scratching your genitals in the, and personally, I don't care.
Yeah.
If they catch you, you got to see them for quite a while. If
Right.
someone sees you picking your nose in your car, what is it? 10 seconds?
Maybe.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Flick it at them.
Yeah, they could. As far as they could see me scratching my nose with my genitals. I don't care.
Can you do that?
Not anymore.
Okay.
There was a time in my life I could.
You need to start doing yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your turn.
All right, here I go. It's my turn. I'm dropping a stone.
Drop a stone.
I'm going to say purple. I never call purple.
Oh.
And today, wouldn't it be great if both colors I get right on the first podcast of the new year? That's a lot of pressure on me now.
That would be great. There's a
lot of pressure on me.
You said purple. It's not going to be purple.
Dang it.
It's red.
Dang it! I was so close.
Now, red and blue do make purple,
They
so
do.
maybe you were just,
It was just pressure. I shouldn't have called it. I should have called
whatever you were channeling got a little confused,
That's right.
and it thought that, red and blue together. I mean, I can see that
it.
happening.
I can too.
Yeah.
But
All right. You said it was red, right?
it
Yeah.
was red.
Okay, so red category is pain, fear, and discomfort.
Okay.
Would you rather be attacked by 20 raccoons?
No. Attack. Who has that on the list of things that they're ready for? What is that?
It's my anti-raccoon
Bring in the
repellent.
coons.
Wow.
I want to be attacked.
So either get attacked by 20 raccoons or by 2 large Rottweilers.
What?
That doesn't make
Neither.
any sense.
How could you choose between neither? I mean, no.
No. My answer is no.
That wouldn't. Neither. I can't pick that. I can't pick. I mean, I guess it's easier to fight off 2 than it is to fight off 20.
Large Rottweilers?
I guess just pull some meat out or something. Here, have some meat. Which I always carry meat with me.
Just in case of a Rottweiler attack.
A couple of Rottweilers attacking me.
The likelihood of either of those animals actually attacking you is slim. Like, they wouldn't just choose to attack you.
Well, if 20 are attacking you, you
Something
got
has
something
gone
in
wrong.
your pants.
Yeah.
There, maybe 1 or 2 has rabies or something, but 20, you're in trouble.
You are in a lot of trouble.
And the same, I guess, with the 2 Rottweilers, unless I mean, I don't know. 1, I guess it's easier to think maybe 2 might, rather than 20 raccoons. I can't pick. I really can't pick. But I would say the Rottweilers.
Okay. It's just a ridiculous question to
It's
start
very
with.
ridiculous. But anyway, that's our first one.
Wow.
Of 2020. Speaking of Rottweilers, we went to, my wife and I, for New Year's Eve. went to a cabin in North Georgia, which I've talked about in the previous thing. So last year we went, and very romantic. We had a great cabin. We loved it. It was so much fun. We took our dogs. We don't have Rottweilers, but
you have a very large
Aussie and a black lab.
Mm-hmm.
They went with us. So last year it was really, really cool. We had a good time, so we decided to do it again. So this time we didn't get the same cabin. We got a different cabin in a different location, really.
Okay.
And
not
as good.
Not as good.
Okay, but not as good. So this cabin was a little bit older, I think.
Okay.
But the thing about it was the bedroom was like a loft. So it was like upstairs. So you had to walk upstairs to the bedroom. There's no bathroom up there.
Right.
It's like if you're upstairs in the bedroom and you have to go to the bathroom, you have to walk all the way downstairs and across the entire cabin to go to the bathroom. That's fun.
That's silly.
It is.
I mean, I understand. I can picture what you're talking about. It's just like a loft.
Yes.
There's no other room or
Correct.
No plumbing up there kind of thing.
There is plumbing. It's a heart-shaped jacuzzi, which I didn't know up until then, but you can pee in it.
No. Did you pee
I would
in the
like to
jacuzzi?
say I'm sorry to the people who came in after us.
Wow.
It's not very romantic, but no, we did not.
Okay.
Well, no.
Did you get in the jacuzzi?
We did.
Okay.
That was fun. Okay.
And that's in the bedroom
So
upstairs?
here's something that was amazing is they had a hot tub and we did not use it. First time I've ever been to a cabin or anything that had a hot tub and we didn't use it.
Wow.
It was outside, kind of cold. We forgot to bring our robes with us. And it was just too cold. And then there was that little jacuzzi inside, so we just used that one. And we were in there and watched some TV and drank some champagne. We didn't even open the champagne. We drank wine, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
You didn't open the champagne to ring in the new year?
We bought champagne and we still haven't opened it. Do you know we did that when we got married? We bought champagne and like 2 years later we opened that champagne.
Wow.
We were talking about that. For some reason we continue to buy champagne for events and we don't.
And you don't open. I know there's a bottle of champagne
Yes.
in your little beer fridge downstairs from last year,
That is correct.
from last New Year's.
Yes.
But you went out and bought another bottle for this New Year's
To not open
to not open.
for next year.
So maybe you're just collecting champagne.
I don't know what it is, but so anyway, so we had 2 dogs with us. The cabin has no carpet; it's hardwood floor. So Big Dog did not want to go upstairs because the stairs are too slippery.
Right.
He would not go up,
Because he's scared he'll fall down.
and yeah, so the little dog just ran up and down the stairs.
Of course.
She didn't care.
Multiple times.
But he would stay down, and so we just thought, well, let him sleep down there. And then so he starts whining the whole time. So we're like, that's not going to work.
Because he doesn't want to be alone.
No. So we had to figure out a way to try to get him up, and we coaxed him. We tried to push him and pull him and he would not at all go. We tried everything. Probably for an hour we did this stuff. So I just said to heck with it, and I picked him up. He's a 100-pound dog.
Yeah.
And carried him up the stairs.
Why would you do that, Rick?
Now I wonder why I would do it.
Did it hurt?
It blew out my back, and my back was out for the rest of the trip, and it's still really sore. I don't know who I think I am at 57 years old that I can pick up a 100-pound dog and walk up a flight of steps. But daggone it, I tried. And I did it.
And you did it.
But when I got upstairs, I have never been that out of breath. I just could not catch enough breath. I needed oxygen immediately.
Wow.
I didn't think about it. I don't know. Maybe that's age, is just doing things you think that you could automatically do when you're younger and you forget how old you are. No, they're not going to do that. But anyway, I got him upstairs, and man, I almost had a heart attack.
And then you just stayed in bed for the rest of
that's
the trip.
basically what it was. So like the next day, which was New Year's Day, we went on a mission to try to figure out a way to get him to come upstairs. So
how did he get down?
It was a little easier to get him downstairs because you could kind of get him by the collar and he could do one step at a time. But he would not come up, and you can't drag a 100-pound dog up the stairs.
But you can pick him up.
Yeah, only once. So we tried to find some little boots, little dog boots, the little rubber boots. We forgot to bring them with us because we didn't think we were going to need it.
Right.
And we went to a pet store, which was open, and they didn't have the boots, so we couldn't find them anywhere. So I tried to find some plastic, rubber gloves. I would put some little rubber gloves on him because it would still give him the traction.
Yeah.
That didn't work. So we had to go another day trying to drag him up the stairs.
Oh, my goodness.
Like one little step at a time. It took forever to get him up.
But you got him up there without having to pick him up again?
So like the next day, we went to a place and bought, there was a rolled up mat, almost like a yoga mat, but it was really a work mat. Mm-hmm. And I bought one of those, $15, and I sliced it up and put him on the stairs. And once he figured it out, it was much better for him. And he went up. And so the last day, right before we left, he was running up and down the stairs totally on his own.
Wow.
For the mat. So.
And your back still hurts.
My back still hurts. But that was this whole thing. Our romantic getaway
was about how do we get the dog upstairs.
Getting the dog up and down the steps.
I mean, he's your child. He's your family. He doesn't want to be by himself. You didn't want to hear him whine all night long.
Nope.
So you did what you had to do.
And we got a really cool fireplace, and we bought a bunch of wood. It was a wood burning fireplace, and it was open. The flue was open, but when you would light it, the smoke would come right into the house.
Oh no!
Everything I own that I took up there smells like a barbecue pit.
Oh no!
So that was the other thing.
So the flue was open, but
yes.
was it windy outside?
Very windy, and it rained. But
that's why.
Occasionally it would stop, and then it would be fine when it would stop. But it just smoked a lot. So it wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. But it was the best. So I don't know if we're going to do that next year.
Well, I mean, that's kind of turned into your tradition, hasn't it?
It was.
And now
I don't know if we'll
changed
still do
your
it.
mind.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
All right. Well, you have a year to think about it.
We do have a year to think about it.
I have something to share with you.
Share away. I'm a little confused.
I found this fact.
Okay.
That I'd like to share with you.
And we're all about facts here.
I'm just going to read a little blurb here from this handy dandy book that I've got here in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Handy and dandy.
So this is something I've wondered about in the past.
All right.
Has nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far.
Well, that's what I like.
Okay. So do toads, toads.
Yeah.
Do they cause warts?
I've heard they do not, but I don't know.
Okay. But when you were little, did you think that they did?
Well, I did because people said they did.
Right.
Frogs and toads, yeah.
Would give you warts?
That's what I was, like that's one of those things your grandparents tell you.
But you would go out frogging, wouldn't you?
No, I didn't.
My
brothers did.
Your brothers did? All right. And were they covered in warts?
No.
Okay. So basically, it says here, those poor toads, they seem to always take a backseat to frogs. Frogs get kissed and turned into princes, and toads just get to cause warts. Well, here's some good news for toads. Toads do not cause warts. Toads do, however, produce a substance from the I can't say it. Parotid gland, maybe?
Okay.
Behind the eyes to act as protection. Mm-hmm. This toxin can make other animals very sick if ingested and can be irritating to the eyes. Some people even go way beyond touching toads and will lick them in an attempt to get high from a supposed psychedelic substance on their skin.
I've heard about that.
A special type of toad, the bufo toad, B-U-F-O toad,
all right,
does contain a psychedelic substance, but it doesn't cause hallucinations.
I don't know that I'd want to lick toads still.
Well, it says be careful because people have been arrested for licking toads.
Toad licking.
Toad licking.
You can get arrested for toad licking.
Yeah, it's abuse of an animal.
To lick an animal is abusive?
I mean, if you're just taking some random animal off of the riverbank and just licking it.
You need some therapy.
It just feels weird to me.
I mean, that's a lonely person. Don't make it worse by arresting them. Right. They need a date.
Lock them up.
Yeah.
Make sure they have like a high bail.
But if they don't cause warts, they
don't cause warts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that would have started.
I think because they have it on their skin, they're bumpy and everything, and people just think they do. It's just a little wives' tale thing.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does wives' tale mean?
Don't know. It's a tale from a wives. An old wives' tale. Back in the old days, the women would get together and just make stuff up, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Where does that come from?
I don't know, but we are going to start a new feature on this program called What Are You Saying?
What are you saying?
What are you saying? Well, what are you saying is about little phrases and stuff that we say, and we don't know where it comes from. We don't know where the saying comes from, and I'm going to tell you where it comes from.
Oh, so you're going to give us a lesson in etymology about sayings.
Sort of. I'm going to start with something I've always wondered. Why do people say that's the ticket?
I'd have no idea.
You remember John Lovitz?
Yeah.
He was the liar guy. Yeah, that's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
I've always wondered where that comes from. What is the ticket? What does that mean?
What does the ticket get you?
That's exactly right.
Is it a bad ticket? Like, did a cop give you a ticket?
Well, it may sound a little far-fetched, but nevertheless, it's true that this expression of approval had its origin in a mispronunciation of the French word etiquette.
Ah, okay. Still doesn't make sense.
Try yourself. Put the accent on the second syllable. Etiquette. Etiquette. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You will get a ticket. You will get a ticket. Someone, perhaps a schoolboy, may have jocularly made a persistent point of such mispronunciation around the year 1800 or later in saying, that's etiquette.
Okay.
When something went well and something was the way it was supposed to be, that's etiquette. That's etiquette.
Etiquette.
Or that's the correct thing. And from that's a ticket.
Became a thing from one person
saying
it wrong.
It was an easy and natural corruption to that's the ticket. And later the phrase acquired general use, making it into literature about 1838. Now you know that's the ticket was originally that's etiquette.
Okay.
That's etiquette.
It just blows my mind that one person said something wrong and we still use it
But
today.
that's how it, especially back then, it just people just kind of caught on. But you hear those kind of things even now. Somebody will start a phrase or a commercial will happen or somebody will say, what's up? And then everybody's saying it.
That's true. That's true.
That was a very old reference, but still.
It was, but I knew what you meant.
I think everybody knows. I mean, we've all had it. Like, where's the beef if you're really old?
That's what I was going to say, actually, was where's the beef. So I guess I am really old.
But even sayings from TV shows and stuff, somebody could just say something, or a movie, somebody could say something, and then it just becomes part of the lexicon. Just people just start saying it.
I was watching the end of a football game yesterday, and the commentator, the announcer, called this guy's throw like what you used to call like a Hail Mary.
Uh-huh.
He called it a YOLO. A YOLO throw.
You only live once. Mm-hmm. So just throw it up.
And I was like, wow.
That's weird, yeah.
Did we go from Hail Mary to YOLO?
Well, I'm wondering if Hail Mary is offensive to Catholics. Is it?
YOLO is offensive to most humans.
Yeah. Reasonable human beings.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard that. I've stopped watching football a while back, so I don't know. But
I just thought it was unusual. I'd never heard an announcer use that phrase.
Not for that. No, not at all. That is interesting. Well, we also have another feature we're starting this week, and we've been talking about this one for a while.
Maybe not on the podcast, but we've been talking about it together.
We've been planning it. We haven't talked about it on the podcast, but this is something we're kind of excited about. We've been wanting to do for a while, and this show being the first of the year. Now, this will be, hopefully, every episode, right? I think we're going to try to make it every episode.
That's our goal. Now, if there are unforeseen things that stop us from doing this every episode,
right,
we apologize in advance. But this is an epic disaster.
So the spot is called Top and Bottom.
Reminds me of New Year's Eve.
Hello. So basically what it is we come up with a concept, sort of a question, and one of us will give our top 5, and the other will give our bottom 5.
We're going to try and keep this pretty conceptual so that we aren't calling out specific things that we don't like, because that just feels very negative to me, and I don't want to do that. I would like to definitely call out specific things that we do like, but then you can't do the reverse. So we're just going to keep it pretty conceptual.
Yeah, give it a listen the next few episodes. Just you'll kind of get a feel for it. And, if you get a feel for it and you want to submit something, you can. We'll let you know how to do that. But to our first, and this is perfect for us, our first show. If you know us, you know this is perfect. All right, this is going to be the places you wouldn't mind being naked. I'm going to handle the tops.
I'll handle the bottoms.
And you handle the bottoms. All right. Now, first of all, and you know me, and people who know me know this is true. I don't like being naked.
We lived together for 4 years, and you still would not come out of the bathroom after a shower unless you had your shorts on.
I don't come out of the bathroom when I'm in the shower. I don't come out of the bathroom when I'm alone naked. I would put on a robe or I won't come out. It's just like, what if the dogs see me? Or what if a burglar is in the house and I don't want to make him throw up? I just don't do it. I'm not a big naked person.
No, you're not.
So this was a little difficult for me. All right.
So you are doing the tops.
Yeah.
That means places that you wouldn't mind being naked.
These are the top 5 places that I wouldn't mind being naked. Now, some of these might be boring to you. Like number 1, the shower. I don't mind being naked in the shower.
I prefer it.
I kind of prefer that.
Yeah.
Number 2, the bed. Not everybody that I know will sleep naked. I don't mind sleeping naked. I will sleep naked.
I sleep naked.
I know some people who have slept naked. Naked. That's
naked.
That's a nice one. It's kind of a Southern thing. My wife will not sleep naked.
She won't.
I don't know how she can sleep with clothes, but if she's naked in the bed for some reason,
like you just had sex.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying for some reason she will then put clothes on to sleep. She won't sleep naked.
That is odd.
It is odd. I don't mind it. That's one of the places I don't mind. So I'm putting that as number 2. And these, I guess, are not necessarily in any order.
Okay.
Number 3, an art studio. I think I wouldn't mind being naked in an art studio, like posing.
So doing life drawings?
Life as being a model for life drawing.
Right.
Possibly photography, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I have the body interesting enough to do either of those, really. But I think I would be okay with that.
Okay. You'd be okay in a room full of dressed people and being the only naked one there.
Yeah, because
and yet you won't come out of the shower
right.
when your wife or partner is in the room without shorts on.
They are used to seeing naked people, and it's for an artistic purposes, and they're not laughing. They wouldn't be laughing at my penis out loud.
Why would your wife be laughing at your penis out loud?
You don't know her.
I don't know her. Maybe she does. Maybe she actually points and giggles, and I don't know.
So you do know her. All right, and so number 4, this one is weird. I had to think about it. Hot tub. I don't mind being naked in the hot tub. Naked.
Neither do I.
Even if there were people, because I'm kind of, nobody's looking at you. And so you're in the hot tub, fine. I think if there were guests, as long as I didn't get out, I think I'd be okay.
So everybody.
I don't know why I would be naked in the hot tub with people, but I'm just saying if I'm naked in the hot tub and people show up and they're like, "Hi, how are you?" I'd be okay.
As long as you didn't have to get out.
As long as I didn't have to get out.
Okay.
So
what if the bubbles stopped?
Then I might be a little more. Then I might be a little more uncomfortable.
Because some of those hot tubs are on timers.
Right. I would have to take care of that somehow.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last place that I wouldn't mind being naked, Munchkin Land.
Really?
Right.
Why is that specifically?
I would be much bigger than everyone else.
My God, is it all about size for
yes,
you?
It's all about size.
Really?
Yeah. I would be the biggest guy in Munchkin Land. I think. I'm not sure. But I would be this huge, giant, naked god to all the Munchkins.
Wow.
And I might have a career. I don't know.
Well, I'll give you a little piece of my history.
Okay.
I knew a dwarf.
Oh, and
back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
His genitalia was no different than, like, say, yours. So it doesn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just bigger than them. All
You're just
bigger.
like, you're as a person.
Yeah, Munchkins are small. I would be big. No, and I didn't say proportional. He didn't say that. Just saying I would be just basically larger than the Munchkins.
Okay. So you just want to be a big naked god in Munchkin Land.
That's right.
I think you should draw that. I would like a cartoon of that.
No.
Please. Pretty please.
I'm not drawing a cartoon of myself naked.
What?
All right, so you've got the bottom.
I do.
What are the bottom places you wouldn't mind being naked?
Okay, so the bottom place, well, basically what that means is that these are places I would mind being naked.
These are the last places
that I would want to be naked.
Right.
Yes, okay.
That's the bottom list.
That makes sense.
Correct.
Some of them are going to be obvious.
Okay.
Like your shower.
Uh-huh.
At work.
Well, it depends on your work, but yeah, if you work as a porn star, you need to be naked.
Well, I'm talking about my current work.
You
like
wouldn't want to be
in my office,
and no one there would want you to be naked. I'll bet. I'm not saying
true.
that. I'm not trying to put words in their mouth, but
I have a feeling they would agree with you.
we'll take a poll.
No, let's not, because I'd be a little scared.
Okay.
So another place that I would not want to be naked
Uh-huh.
is in court.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. I don't think I would be taken seriously.
And you'd probably be held in contempt.
I'd be held in contempt, and then I'd have additional charges.
Yeah,
for
definitely
public nudity,
right?
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would suck.
Okay.
Another one would be, now I have done this.
But it's still your bottom.
It is.
Okay.
Now, because I have a caveat here. Now, I have driven my car naked before,
Okay.
which is not wise. I don't suggest doing it.
Okay.
I have done it for reasons that I can't go into.
Right, but
But
it's not very cool if you have an accident or
No.
you get pulled over.
That's what my thing is
Right.
if you were to get pulled over by the
Yes.
police for some traffic infraction and you're sitting there naked
Right.
in your car.
Right.
Once again, additional charges and quite possibly being taken to jail while naked, which is another place I would not want to be naked in jail.
I should mention really quick that on my New Year's Eve trip,
Yeah,
I got a ticket.
you did.
Speeding ticket.
Etiquette or a ticket?
A ticket. No, it wasn't etiquette. I was doing 79 and a 65.
Oh, well, that's
just
not
picky.
bad.
That's picky.
Yeah, that's just being picky.
But anyway, I got it. And I don't have a lot of speeding tickets. It's the first one I've gotten in Atlanta.
Have you been able to call and find out how much it is yet?
No, but I bet it's a lot. Don't you think? About $200?
Yeah, maybe 200.
I said 200.
180.
My wife said she thought it was that was too much, but I don't know. I think it will be.
All right. So, number 4
Or
is letting the dog out and accidentally locking the door behind me.
okay, that's a movie. That happened in a movie. No. Roxanne, the movie when
Oh yeah, when she
Remember.
went to get the cat,
she did something and got
something happened.
Yeah,
and
locked herself out,
and the blanket got stuck in the door,
and it ripped off.
and it ripped off, and she had to go to the fire station naked.
Something like that.
How did she get there?
I don't know, but
It was
there-
like blocks and blocks.
yeah.
Anyways, that's kind of a fear of mine because I won't say that I go outside naked with my dog very often, but I will say that I have done it. Or I'll just have on a t-shirt or something, like a longer t-shirt, just to go out, let her out, and come back in. When I do that, I go out through the garage, and I make absolutely damn sure that door is not locked.
Can you leave just leave a jacket or a robe in the garage? Just leave it in there for if that happens. Then you'll
just
feel
in
good.
case.
Yeah.
It'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to when I was acting. I always had this fear that while I was performing, that the lights would go out.
Yeah.
There'd be a storm or something, and the lights and then I'd be in the dark. And I don't know why. It's an irrational thing, but I always felt that way. So somewhere it became my superstition. Somewhere on set, I would always leave a candle with a lighter or matches.
Really?
Somewhere, and that way the lights would go out and everybody would flip out like, oh, what are we gonna do? And I would just stay in character, and I would go and I would get the candle and I would get the matches and I would light it, and then we could go on.
Nice.
It's ridiculous, but that was just a weird little stupid fear that I had, phobia.
So your phobia is that you'd be performing and all the lights would just go out.
Yeah,
Because that would freak you out?
and it never happened.
Never.
It was just being prepared, I guess. I
Okay.
don't know why, but that's kind of what I'm saying about with you. This kind of fear. Why not just leave a robe or a t-shirt or pants or something somewhere in your garage, just fold it up somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So that if you did happen to get locked out, you would be able to put that on, and then you could get help.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just leave it in the car, which is in the garage.
Well, if you don't have your keys,
Oh, yeah.
just
Well,
hang them up somewhere.
there you go.
Just
Okay.
fold them up, stick them in a little corner.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome.
I have one more place that I would not want to be naked.
Okay.
So I just got done telling you that I sleep naked.
Right.
So when I wake up in the morning, I don't put clothes on to go to the bathroom. I just get up and go.
Right. As many of the workers know that have worked on your house.
Unfortunately, yes. It's nice to know when they're coming in advance.
Right.
Would be nice. However, one fear of mine is that I'll be either just getting up in the morning, which would be a silly time for this to happen, or I'll be getting ready to go out or, running around the house naked like you do.
Yeah.
And then like somebody would have planned a surprise party
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
So I come out of either the bedroom or the bathroom or wherever I'm getting ready or doing what I'm doing, and then there's a bunch of people there and they're yelling surprise. Yeah.
And then you look at them. Surprise.
Surprise.
So here's my question to you. All right, so that's your bottom 5.
Yes.
But I was surprised you didn't say child's birthday party, but I'm not going to say what
My
you
brain
should
doesn't
and
go
shouldn't.
there.
But my question to you, and this is what I'm a little curious about. You're a naked person. You don't have a lot of like when it comes to nudity. You don't really care. You don't. I don't know, because I asked you one time. I was like, if you were in New Orleans and they were giving beads for showing boobs, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I don't care."
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
And
care.
you've been public. You've been at well, I guess other people are nude too, but you've been at nude places.
Yes.
Nude beaches, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And I feel like you just, you don't really care much about nudity.
I don't.
I feel like I don't know. I just feel like some of those places you'd be like, whatever.
Well, I mean, if there's any time that I'm ever caught nude, it's like, what are you going to do? You can't
caught nude.
You can't undo it. Yeah. You can't take it back. You can't, I'd
like to take back my nudity, please.
You can't say you didn't see what you thought you just saw. You can't do that. It's just, it is what it is. You're naked. Whatever. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just feel like that maybe that's not a big deal for you. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I mean, it's a huge deal for you, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because you and I are very much alike in a lot of ways.
Because I really look good naked. I'm hot naked.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I will.
Okay. You and I are very much alike in a lot of ways, but when it comes to and it may just be because of how we grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small family. You grew up in a very large family.
Yeah. In a large family, you were very, very protective of your privacy because you don't have a lot. Mm-hmm. And so you're very aware. You're more concerned about locking a door, a bathroom door, or someone, coming in when you're in there or whatever. So, I mean, I just feel like that's probably part of it.
And, my dad walked around in his underwear.
My dad did too.
So it never really affected me.
No.
Well,
I mean, my dad did. My mom walked in around in a gown. My sisters would get ready for school. They'd walk around their underwear. People did. I was uncomfortable with it. I didn't do it.
Got you.
Okay, so that's going to be our new feature, Top and Bottom. We'll come up with different top and bottoms every week. If you have a suggestion for a top and bottom that you want to send to us, we'll be happy to take it into consideration. Just send it to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com.
Yep.
We will consider that. And you might want to listen, maybe listen to a couple of them, see what you think.
We have some good ideas coming up. So maybe if you listen to a few weeks, you get the idea of the conceptuality that we're discussing rather than specific things.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I was at a bookstore earlier today. I just wanted to bring this up. There's a publication here in Atlanta called Stomp and Stammer. We just started advertising in it. If you came to our podcast by that advertisement, please drop us a line and say, "Hi, I came because I saw the advertisement."
Well, don't say that. You're not just going to come because you see an advertisement.
Hey, see,
it doesn't work like that.
You just got rid of them.
I'm sorry.
It was so quick.
I have a potty mouth.
And then they left. But we're kind of curious if we have some new listeners because of our ad, and if you're around, grab the publication. Look, you can see our great looking photo.
Oh yeah, we're hot.
Our beautiful pictures in there. But I'm just curious how many people might have found us from that advertisement, and if you did, let us know.
Please.
We're here every week. Every Monday, new show comes out.
Every Monday.
Talking about bookstore. So I wanted to talk a little bit about books. I think this year I've bought more books this year than I have in a long time. Do you still buy books?
I do. I like physical books, and I have purchased some, but I find that rather than reading physical books, I have started listening to books instead.
That's a good thing.
While I'm driving home from work. The problem with my car is that I don't have the Bluetooth set up, so I can't make it really loud. So if I'm driving full blast, I can't hardly hear my phone. Mm-hmm. So I can only do it when I'm sitting in traffic. Okay. It's not loud, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I listen on my way home from work, which takes exceptionally longer than on my way to work. And so, I've listened to about 5 books in the last, 5 months.
Well, I'm a big book person, as you know. Mm-hmm. I got tons of books, and my wife's trying to get me to get rid of a bunch of them right now. Mm-hmm. But I just don't. I mean, some of these books I've had forever. I'm a very big book person.
You are, and she should know better than asking you to get rid of books, because here's what Rick does, folks.
Before the books.
This is what Rick does. He will get rid of a lot of books, and then guess what he does immediately thereafter?
He get more books.
He gets more books.
That's right.
Which is fine.
I don't know, the last couple of years, I haven't bought that many books the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This year or last year, 2019, I really bought more books than I have in a long time. So here's what I do, because I have the reason I'm asking is because the prediction is that books are going to go out of style, and a lot of bookstores have closed.
Mm-hmm.
I still go in. I like going into Barnes and Noble. It's one of the last ones.
Yeah,
and especially independent bookstores and little bookstores that have used books. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, I like the used bookstores better.
Yeah, me too. So what I found that I've done this year is I have Amazon Kindle Unlimited subscription.
Right.
So there are a lot of books I can get for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'll do is I will get those books. I will start reading them. And I mean, I get certain depth into the book, maybe 2 or 3 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I want this book in my library, and I will buy it. I will order it from there.
So that you've already, I mean, I understand that because I have books that I've reread.
Yes.
Several times. Most of them are novels by Stephen King or Christopher Moore.
Uh-huh.
But I get that. Like, I've already read it, and I've gotten rid of the book for whatever reason. I'll be at a bookstore, and I'll see it, and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Even though I know I already got rid of one. I already had it once. Now I need it back because I want to read it again. And I don't know why I get rid of them if I'm just going to read it again.
I don't know. I come from an era where books are just magical. Just having the book itself is just a wonderful thing. And I like being able to read books, and sometimes I read them and I go, I like this book. It's just not a book I would keep around for a long time. But then there's some books I want to read this many, many times over the years. So the way Amazon Kindle Unlimited works is you get to take 10 books out. You can borrow 10 books and read them. And you can borrow more than that, but you have to return one or all of the 10 books. So you only get 10 at a time.
Okay.
So I will start reading them, and then if I really like the book, I will just go ahead to Amazon and order the physical book, and then I'll dump it, and then I'll wait until it gets to me, and I'll read it.
Okay.
And one of the things I really like, you can kind of do this on the Kindle Unlimited thing too, but I love being able to underline and make notes in the margins and highlight and all that kind of stuff. You can't do that on digital books, at least not well.
Not well. I mean, some of the programs that you read books digitally, you can do that. You can put like place markers and you can highlight and you can do all that. It's just not the same.
Nope.
It's like your notes don't look like your notes look when you handwrite them.
And like I've got books that I got when I was in my 20s. And now I go back and then I look at stuff I wrote in the books and just remembering things. I don't know. It's a magical thing you don't get with just non-physical books, just digital books. I don't know. I
don't enjoy reading digital books. I've done it, and I've read whole books that way, but I just don't enjoy it.
I like it. I like it. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. But I just I like being able to have that feeling of this is so good that I want an actual book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this book that I've had for several years now, and I've been looking at it on my bookshelf thinking, I really kind of want to read that again because most of it I don't remember. It's a book called Final Exits.
Oh, yeah. I gave you that.
You did.
I did give you that.
And it's a bunch of stories about weird ways that people have died.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it cover to cover because I fully enjoyed that book.
Yeah.
And I don't remember most of it, so I think I'm going to reread that one.
It's the great thing about getting old is all of your books and movies are new.
Exactly.
It comes back. Because I wanted you to talk about some of the deaths and stuff because we get a little, a little morbid on the show.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes
not any more than we are just in person.
All right. Well, let's say goodbye. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap this show up. Let's put this show on ice, as they say.
Let's talk about our beer.
Who says it?
Who says that?
But we will talk about the beer. But first, let's just say, if you're new to the program and you like it and you want to listen to it every week, it's not always the same. We have different.
It's not always the same.
We have a different program. Each week we do kind of talk a little bit about this kind of stuff. We talk a lot about our relationships. We chat. It's a chat show. We're going to do some interviews this year and things like that. And if you really like it and you want to participate, one of the things that we do is you can write in relationship questions and Sherry will give you some advice. If you have some weird dreams, send them in to me. I will interpret your dreams as I've done many times on the program. And you can send that stuff as well as sending any kind of comments, greetings, criticisms, suggestions to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. And we'll read it on the podcast, unless you just don't want us to. And also, if you want some free stickers, just drop us an email. Tell us where we can mail you some stickers, and we will.
Mm-hmm. We have lots and lots of stickers.
You can find us on Facebook. That's probably the best place to find us.
Yeah.
We're also on Instagram. We are on Twitter, and you can find all the shows on YouTube. And that's how you find out about us.
That's how you find out about us. If you want
find
to
out about you, let us know. We care.
You're getting weird
about you. What else do we care about? Beer. We do a live beer review every show, and today's live beer review is Fireside Chat.
And yeah, it's good. It's again, it's by 21st Amendment Brewery.
Yep.
Brewery. What's a brewery?
It's as good as a punch in the eye.
Yeah, I'll tell you how good that is. And it's 7.9% alcohol. Again, it's a winter spiced ale called Fireside Chat. And mine is mostly gone. Yours is mostly gone. About the same.
I'm going to make the comment that I don't taste. I don't know why I just made the fart noise with my mouth. I don't taste any spices really. I was expecting a little. I don't know, kind of Christmassy, some cinnamon or something
nutmeg,
like that.
Something in the background.
That's what I was expecting. I didn't get that.
I don't have spice at all. I definitely. I mean, it's a porter.
It is.
It's an okay porter. It doesn't, it's not horrible.
Little bit of bitterness in it in the back.
There is at the back end. Everybody's back end is a little bitter.
Not mine.
Oh wow.
But Franklin D. Roosevelt's is not. And he's on the cover of the Fireside Chats, and I'm giving the Fireside Chat 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 2. I'm just not feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
It wasn't my favorite beer, but it was good. It was all right. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So I'm giving it a 3.
So Rick gives it a 3. I give it a 2.
Fireside. You say
2. Listeners, don't always take our word for things because we're not like professional beer tasters. We can't really describe what we're tasting to anybody for that matter. Rick had a beer once he said tasted like frogs. How he would know what a frog tasted like? Probably because he was one of those people on the riverbank licking toads and should have been arrested.
I do that occasionally. One of the things I would suggest is just realize everything we say on this program is a challenge to you. Go test it yourself because we're morons, basically. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. But we basically we'll give you our opinion, and then if you don't agree with it, challenge it. Go out and find out for yourself. I always suggest that.
Yeah, don't take anything we say as gospel.
Other than the fact that I am psychic, and what I'm going to do is I've got a deck of cards right here really quick before we say goodbye.
No.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the cards, and we're going to find the 7 of diamonds on the top of the cards. And then we'll say goodbye.
Really?
Here we go. Oh, man, this is so exciting. Should I go ahead and do this?
Yeah, do it.
7 of diamonds.
All right. It's the 2 of hearts.
All right, people. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
You're not psychic.
Dang, I was so close.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.